The backers of Colorado's open primary and ranked choice Proposition 131 on your ballot have now conceded. It is down 12 percentage points, and they acknowledge that it will fail tonight. This was the measure that was backed by former DaVita CEO Kent Thiry with his own personal fortune, millions of dollars worth, the backing of business groups, the backing of the oil and gas giant Chevron. It would have done away with party primaries in Colorado, put all candidates into an open primary, which 4 folks would come out to compete in a general headed into ranked choice voting. Let's bring in Kelly Rinke, who's been covering this tonight. And Kelly, you're there at the state capitol, where things would have changed considerably if you no longer had folks coming out of party primaries into safe red and blue seats, and instead big business had opened up a lane for very well-funded centrists to come into the legislature.
Yeah, Kyle, like you had mentioned, proponents of Prop 131 have greatly outspent opponents of this proposition. But obviously, opposition groups are very happy with the way that things turned out at the polls. I just got a statement not too long ago from one of those groups, Common Cause, and it reads in part, "We need to be working to get dark money out of politics, not strengthening its influence by trying to overhaul an election system that isn't broken." This was bankrolled by the former CEO of DaVita, Kent Thiry, and he had pumped in so much money into this proposition, and even putting in some last-minute funding into Prop 131, which seemed to suggest that they thought that this was going to be closer than they thought. But like you guys mentioned, it was a 12% margin. So with Prop 131 voting no, it means that the way that we conduct elections here in Colorado is going to stay the same. If it had gone the other way, it would have meant that probably that the influence of those far left and, the progressives and the far right in Colorado politics, their influence would have been decreased, and it would have paved the way for more of those well-funded, wealthy moderates to be elected. But then again, it seemed like voters were really reading closely to Prop 131, and it didn't matter how much money was pumped into this because they voted no.
All right, thank you, Kelly. We know that if it had passed, the legislature still would have had to do a lot of work to decide how they implement it. So, but now it's gone down, and we're probably going to see it again in some form.
Yeah, I mean, the folks who pushed it didn't run out of money. So, I mean, unless they want to do something else with their money. Kelly Rinke, thank you very much. Kelly out in the weather tonight.
Yeah, she is.